Hey, hopefully you can hear me well. So, say I'm gonna start doing this with a selfie stick. Let me go the other direction so the sun's not like in your face. So hopefully you can see me. I have a selfie stick, right? So it can extend because I don't know if I'm gonna be doing a video for like 10 minutes long. It sometimes can make your arm tired. But I want to come to talk today about really time and consistency and like their impact on success. So most people, they think of success in terms of a 30 to 90 day sprint where they try really, really, really hard for 30 days, but then they kind of like get distracted, get discouraged, or don't really see the progress they're looking for right away. So they end up just kind of like fizzling out and just not reaching their goal. Now, I personally I feel sorry for people because it's like, I was the same way, right? It's like when I first got started, I was doing a business model called eBay drop shipping. And basically what happened was like, I purchased a couple courses, and like as soon as I started like putting the products on eBay. So basically what eBay drop shipping is like, you find a product, like a picture of a product online from one store. You then go and price it and try and mark it up on like eBay. So let's say you find something from Walmart for $5. You try and see if you can sell it on eBay for $10. When someone buys it, you go order off Walmart.com and have it shipped to their house. So you never have to like get inventory, and it's a lot less risky than something like ordering a lot of inventory. So, but with that, it's like I purchased the course, and I was like, okay, I gotta make this thing work, gotta make this thing work. And after about 13 days of having the products listed up there, I started to go into like panic mode. Because it's like, oh my gosh, it's not working, right? I'm not gonna be able to make this thing work. And it would just be just total like fear, right? Because I just didn't know any better. And luckily for me, it started working within that 14-day window. So I didn't have enough time to kind of get discouraged and fizzle out. But I could totally see if I didn't get a little bit of success, I probably would have fizzled out, and I wouldn't have been successful at all. Let me adjust this angle so it's a little easier to see. Okay, that should be better. I don't know where I'm going. I'm just trying to make sure you guys don't see the sun. So I'm thinking of you when I'm making this video. But the moral of the story is like, you have to look at like little wins. So I didn't necessarily have a huge like windfall of like money in that first like 14 days, but I was able to get one sale. And I heard that first like cha-ching kind of hit the bank account, and that was enough to kind of keep me in the game. With your accounting and bookkeeping business, you got to find those little wins, those little cha-chings, right? It might not be monetary. Maybe it's your first consultation call. Maybe it's the first person that says yes to you. Maybe it's the first time you send out an invoice, right? You got to turn it into a game. You got to make it fun. You got to make it something that you can find little wins on, because every little win turns into a big win. 6 months, 12 months, a year from now. You just got to be able to stay inside the game. And most things in life are measured in terms of time. Most good things in life they take a long time, right? So it's like you always want to spend more time with family. You want to be able to spend more time on vacation, right? You want to spend more time like that's free time. But it's all measured in time. It's the same thing with like investing. Same thing with building a business. If you ever look at like most investment accounts, right? It's all about like the what is it called? Compound interest. Warren Buffett talks about compound interest being the 8th wonder of the world. Because you leave it in there, and every single year it grows, and then it grows, and it keeps growing. And at first it starts linearly, right? So it's like you put in one unit, you get another unit out, another. But over time, it starts compounding, and it starts going up almost like a hockey stick, right? And it's exponentially growing. But if you don't give yourself enough time to let these things kind of happen, you're never really going to be able to reach the pinnacle, reach the end point. So And this kind of discussion came up because I was talking to a person who joined our mentorship program yesterday, and he's actually being forced to think long term because he is in active duty, right? So he has about 9 more years to go. Now, the reason why it's important is because I'm like, wait, so all you have to do is just grow your business, right? And if you can just stay patient for these next 10 years, because he also does real estate. So you take the money that you make from the business, let's say it's 5 to 10K per month. Since he's already getting paid from the military, his bills are basically covered, right? So he can really use all the savings from the business to not only keep growing the business, but also to invest in rental properties. So let's say he gets to about 10 grand per month. When he gets to about 10 grand per month, what that will allow him to do is every 2 to 4 months, he can go put down like a down payment for a new property. So he keeps just growing the business, taking the dividends, not getting distracted, putting into real estate. And then 10 years, what's going to happen is not only will he be able to have a very, very, very successful business that can probably run without him, he's going to have a really, really big real estate portfolio. And the thing about real estate is every 9 to 11 years, there's generally it goes from like the bottom market to the top of the market, 9 to 11 years. So he'll actually be able to sell all those properties in about 9 to 10 years. And he can start going from single family houses to starting to invest in like apartment buildings with all the different like properties he would have sold. But that's not going to happen in a month, a week, a day, right? It's going to take time. But that's not a bad thing. Because at least with this business model, it's not like you're slaving 70, 80 hours a week. It's not like you have people that are like, your boss that's kind of looking down your throat. It's not like you have, 2-3 people in your department leave and now you're doing all their work, right? You can really set it to be on your own terms and make sure it's something that you actually enjoy doing. Now, there's one other thing I was going to say. The reason why I think a lot of people even struggle with like kind of thinking that long term is like when you're starting your business, it's like, is this thing going to work out? And I totally feel where you're coming from, because if you don't really know what you're doing, or if you don't really have a good strategy in place, then you're just kind of recreating everything from scratch. And it's easy for me to talk about like, hey, you should be patient and stuff like that, but that's because I know that the blueprint we have and we teach our people in our mentorship program is very consistent and works very well. So if you don't have the blueprint, you have a couple of options. Number one, you could try, and figure this stuff on your own. We have like, I think on this channel it says 943 videos total. So you have like 940 videos that you can go watch. Some of the videos range anywhere from like 5 minutes to, I think one of our longer videos is like 2 hours long, right? But that's the thing. In life, you can either pay with your time or you can pay with your money. I know a lot of people, like maybe if you're just not like in the best place financially, like maybe investing with the time you have and watching the videos and trying to implement it would be helpful for you. If you do have the money and you'd rather not spend the time, right? You're more of a think about it like this. Successful people, the more successful you get, the less time you kind of have to kind of waste on things that either work or don't work, right? Because there's opportunity cost. So most successful people would rather invest their money than invest their time, right? Because they're trying to maximize the amount of time they still have left. So it's the same thing when you're trying to grow your business, right? If you have more money than time, you might as well use the money you have to go and make more and more money. And you do that by investing in better skill sets. So to start a business, you need marketing, you need sales, you need to learn how to price your services. If you don't have those skill sets, starting a business is going to be very, very challenging for you to do, right? So if you want to learn those skill sets and you want to save time by just joining with someone who already has those skill sets, and I can just really just like implant the stuff that's in my brain and implant the stuff that's worked for me and my firm, and I just give it to you and you just basically copy and paste into your life, then you know that as you're spending time and waiting for the return to happen, you actually have certainty it's going to happen. Okay? Because think about it. It's about saving time and using your money. It's about getting a return on your money. It's about certainty. Like we talked about, successful people want to save time. They also want certainty when it comes to their investments. So what do I mean by that? So Richard Branson has a rule. Whenever he's investing, he will not invest in something unless for every $1 he gets back, he gets at least $3 in return. If you can't see that, or there's no direct path, or it's maybe it's like maybe it'll work and you get like $1 million back, but you might lose everything, he doesn't do it, right? That's why you invest in like a mentorship program rather than like investing like a marketing agency, right? Because like, for example, I used to spend a lot of money like trying to get marketing agencies to work, where it'd be like, they'd be like, oh, I'll give you some leads, or I'll give you this. And it's like, okay, well, you spend money. And the downside is that you lose money, right? Because like you're spending it and you're spending on advertising, and it's just kind of like going out. There's not really a return. Versus when I started investing in myself, like buying coaching programs, which teach you the skill sets of marketing and sales, I always get a return on it because I can always add it to my existing skill sets, and I can make even more money and get even more return with it, right? So that's kind of why I like investing like in coaching and like buying coaching programs, because there's a certainty that I have that I'm going to get a return from the information that I get inside of these different programs. And I mean, so far it's worked out fairly well for me. I'm actually at a $1 to $1 to $10 return for every single course that I buy. For every single course I buy. And I spent a lot of money on courses. So awesome. Yeah, so if you want some help, you want to skip watching a million different videos online, maybe trying to see if it works for yourself or not. If you want certainty that you're actually going to be able to go and get your goals, so you can get to, spending more time with your family a lot faster rather than having to recreate the wheel, I recommend that you click the link inside the description below. Book a call with us to see if our proven process can work for you. In some cases, it's a great fit. In some cases, it's a bad fit. If it's a bad fit, I'm going to tell you. And I'm like, hey, man, I don't think it's like really the best time right now for us to work together. And I don't really know if the system is going to kind of work for you. But if I do think the system's going to work for you, I'm going to be really honest and be like, hey, I think this will work for you. This is why it's going to work for you. And then we can maybe walk you through what that time commitment looks like, what it looks like to actually work together. And if it makes sense, you can get started and we can get off to the races and go reach your goal. Awesome. So hopefully you have a good rest of your day. Take it easy. I'm going to go to the gym. Have a good one.